It started as a war of words that quickly spiraled into a storm of finger-pointing, leaked receipts, and shocking reveals. Soulja Boy is no stranger to controversy. He's called out and dragged rivals in countless online feuds over the years. But his latest clash with actor-comedian Marlon Wayans peeled back the layers of a drama that's bigger than both of them. Whispers of soul-selling, secret boyfriends, and hush-hush Hollywood deals have emerged, leaving many fans wondering what's real and what's all for show. Today, we're diving into the core of this messy saga, and by the end, you might have a whole new perspective on the man once hailed as a self-made rap pioneer. The fire was lit by what seemed like a casual comment from Marlon Wayans during a radio interview. He was asked for his take on Soulja Boy's decision to perform at a certain political figure's inauguration, a move many considered a career ender. Marlon, never shy about comedic jabs, suggested Soulja's career was already dead, so he had nothing to lose. His words carried that trademark snark, but to many, it sounded like an honest statement. If you're already irrelevant, what harm can performing for a controversial figure do? Of course, Soulja Boy wasn't having it. Within hours, he did what he does best, took to social media with an arsenal of insults and accusations. He railed against Marlon, calling him unfunny, washed up, and implying that every major role Marlon snagged was the result of shady deals. In typical Soulja fashion, the tweets flew fast and furious, sparing no one who dared to laugh at him or speak up in Marlon's defense. But while this felt like a typical Soulja meltdown, it soon became clear that we were only scratching the surface. In the heat of the back and forth, Soulja Boy lobbed a scandalous accusation. He claimed Marlon Wayans was selling his soul to gain Hollywood success. That phrase, selling your soul, is a common weapon in celebrity feuds, usually aiming to paint the other person as compromised, morally bankrupt, or controlled by powerful industry players. Soulja took it a step further by accusing Marlon of doing more than just schmoozing with Hollywood bigwigs. He hinted that Marlon might have been offering up more than comedic talent behind closed doors. The tweets were laced with half-censored profanities, but the implication was clear. In Soulja's eyes, Marlon got where he is by pleasing gatekeepers in ways no self-respecting man ever would. Viewers were left with two stark options: either believe Soulja Boy's wild claims or write them off as desperate attempts to deflect attention from his own plateauing career. Soulja, after all, had been in the game since his teens, famously blowing up the internet with his earliest hits. Now, as an adult, he was in the spotlight again, but for all the wrong reasons. Marlon Wayans is no stranger to roasts or comedic comebacks. When Soulja unleashed his tirade, Marlon pounced on one glaring truth: Soulja Boy's music career simply wasn't what it used to be. It's one thing for Marlon to say Soulja has no hits under his belt. It's another to deliver that jab in front of millions. And that's exactly what Marlon did, calling him a has-been with no real prospects. But Marlon didn't stop at comedic slams. He posted screenshots of messages that appeared to show Soulja Boy begging for a movie role. While Soulja was busy trash-talking Marlon's work ethic, those DMs painted a very different picture: an artist who might be struggling financially and looking to pivot into acting, hoping a Hollywood friend could open doors. The moment Marlon shared these receipts, Soulja Boy's social media accounts lit up like a Christmas tree. He furiously tweeted more insults before abruptly deleting almost everything. It was as if he realized his meltdown was backfiring. The more anger and slurs he hurled, the more determined Marlon seemed to poke fun at him. Then came a strange calm from Soulja's side, but it turned out to be the quiet before a bigger storm. Soulja Boy's feud with Marlon might have fizzled, but the internet never sleeps. With Soulja doubling down on homophobic language, it wasn't long before people started digging up his own skeletons. One name surfaced again and again: William, a flamboyant personality who'd once claimed to be Soulja Boy's secret partner. During an interview with Tasha K, William laid out shocking details of an alleged relationship with Soulja Boy. He claimed they met at a Hollywood party, where Soulja wasted no time making a move. According to William, their encounters escalated fast. He said Soulja would whisper racially charged phrases, turning the entire situation into some bizarre roleplay scenario. William also provided descriptions of Soulja's body that ended up matching what fans later saw when Soulja launched his certain paid subscription page. Many fans were doubtful at first, People love to fabricate stories for attention, especially when it involves celebrities. But the timing was interesting. William made these claims well before Soulja started any subscription-based content, so fans started connecting the dots. Meanwhile, Soulja Boy's reaction to the rumor was startlingly subdued. Instead of launching a tirade, calling William the worst names imaginable, he half laughed off the accusations and seemed oddly nervous. For someone known to explode over the smallest controversies, Soulja's near-blushing discomfort was a red flag to many. Why, wondered fans, is he suddenly shy about snapping back? Some speculated he wanted to avoid pushing William into revealing more intimate details that, if proven true, could wreck his self-styled, hardcore persona. Just when it seemed the drama was dying down, another name popped into the conversation: Jaguar Wright. She's never been afraid to call out the darkest secrets in the music industry, and according to her, Soulja Boy was deeply entangled in that realm from a young age. Her claims went beyond typical down-low gossip. She alleged Soulja had been passed around powerful figures in the business. It might sound far-fetched, but Jaguar insisted Soulja's penchant for loud bravado and public feuds was nothing but a smokescreen. She even brought up an old story about him reportedly being found in a hallway wearing no clothes, a story that circulated in industry whisper networks but never confirmed. At this point, fans were torn. Some believed Soulja's past was more complicated than the flashy rags to riches narrative he sold to the public. Others argued these rumors were just that, rumors, whipped up by individuals hungry for attention. But the avalanche of allegations was tough to ignore. Every time Soulja tried to deflect, more people came forward, or old stories resurfaced, painting a picture of a star whose public persona might be covering deeper secrets. As receipts piled up, the internet responded the only way it knows how: memes, jokes, and endless commentary. Some folks took pity on Soulja, suggesting he was caught in a cyclical drama of denial and overcompensation. Others mocked him brutally, calling him a hypocrite for tossing around homophobic slurs while possibly living on the DL himself. Marlon Wayans, too, kept fueling the fire. He teased Soulja relentlessly, going as far as releasing an AI-generated country diss track that labeled Soulja an out-of-control star caught up in questionable substances. In typical comedic fashion, Marlon exaggerated, but people ate it up. The track swept across social media, leaving many to wonder if Soulja Boy had any comedic comeback left. Through it all, Soulja's own posts were surprisingly minimal. Instead of going on a never-ending rant, he seemed to sense that the more he spoke, the worse it would get. Critics speculated that maybe, deep down, Soulja feared what new receipts might come to light if he continued antagonizing the wrong people. After all, controversies don't scare the internet away. They just make it dig deeper. Whether you side with Soulja Boy or believe the accounts of Marlon Wayans, William, Jaguar Wright, and countless internet detectives, one thing is clear: there is a swirling cloud of mystery around Soulja's private life and business dealings. It's more than a rap beef or comedic banter. The rumors extend to everything from hushed Hollywood deals to possible hidden relationships. Will Soulja ever address the deeper allegations head-on, or will his strategy remain to lob homophobic insults and accusations at those who question him? Are the stories about him being passed around behind the scenes and then covering it with bravado close to the truth, or are they simply a convenient way for others to get attention? For now, it looks like the dust has only settled on the surface. We may not have seen the final chapter of the saga, especially with so many conflicting narratives. But if history repeats itself, Soulja Boy's next meltdown might drop fresh clues that keep the internet speculating for weeks on end. Until then, the question still lingers: how much of Soulja Boy's tough guy act is real, and how much is just a carefully constructed show meant to hide a truth he'll never admit? No matter which side you land on, the final lesson is that nothing stays hidden forever, especially under the relentless gaze of the internet. One candid interview, one leaked video, or one old friend with a grudge can turn a well-tended image into a spectacle of viral controversy. And in a world where the truth is often stranger than fiction, this might only be the beginning.